boy. These are the hardest minotaurs in the game. For one thing, you can't lift them to the air like you normally would on other minotaurs. They're pretty much immune to that. I've never seen it work. So you have to instead do a square triangle combo. And even then, it doesn't launch them that high into the air, so you're going to be still vulnerable to any other attacks. I mean, it still takes a good amount of hits, and the amount of time you spend in the air should be enough. But still, it's a lot harder than it should be. Luckily, for these two minotaurs, after you kill the first one, thanks to these archers spawning, I think this fight becomes a bit easier, not a whole lot easier, because you can throw them toward the minotaur to take off a lot of its health. Yeah, that could probably save you maybe 1 or 2 throws, and every little bit counts. I actually have seen that if you can do it quick enough, at the very least, launching them with blade arms works. I mean, you can't really take advantage of how high they go, but it does work effectively. I think you could probably do a home run on this guy. Oh wow, I did a home run on him! That probably cut me out some experience though. Big B, you must be proud. I discovered something on my own. So anyway, this fight I kind of like. It's pretty... Where did that circle prompt come from? We've got that kick-ass combat music that plays when you're going to be out of rope, because that's what you're going to be doing here in a bit. And that's why you want to come get rid of the archers, because then they'll constantly hurt you alongside the other enemies. Hey, this is pretty fun on this. Of course, I could do without Pandora's tempo music playing in the background alongside this kick-ass combat theme. Ah! I should reset my game after this, so I can get rid of it. I mean, I didn't want to do that boulder thing because I really am not a fan of it. Otherwise, I probably would have reset at that point. This is not that hard, though, personally. At least compared to the first few rope climbing sequences. If not only because you have so much more health at this point. Oh! I didn't know he could hit me out of it. That's a lot of health. Wow. Damn, I wish I saved those chests now. Not expecting to lose that much health. Ugh. There's a health chest at least, that'll help. This and that. And of course, you to take out your friend. Oh god. I also use all my magic just to prove my point of how freaking strong these guys are. You see, it takes out the centaurs no problem, but the minotaurs are still kicking. They pretty much like shrugged it off. Thankfully, all their attacks are blockable, which is great. And I'll just use this to get rid of the last few ones, because the magic is nearby. Didn't know you were there. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. have to admit, until I did this LP, I never really used Pandora, Blade of Artemis. And now as I say that, it's actually failing me. Oh boy. Actually, even though I just said it's useful, I don't think I'll use it for this Minotaur. I tried, but I guess my reflexes aren't that good. I just made up that idea on the spot, actually. Or at least tried it out for the first time. And hey, I'll still give credit where credit's due. Blade of Artemis is definitely a decent weapon. I don't like how you can't do circle attacks with it, though. No other weapon in the series really has that, if I'm correct. Because when you try to grab, it'll do something else instead. I could really use some health, though, now that I think about it. And these Blades of Hades, and you can bypass this first section by simply doing that. Basically, if you get hit by those blades, you won't die instantly. Well, I might because of how low my health is. But it will usually knock you off, and then that will kill you. And yes, falling at this point from this high up actually will kill Kratos. It doesn't seem like it should, but it just does. And I think I could make that jump, but I don't want to take the chance. So you're gonna have to basically jump to avoid the blades. It's worth knowing doing aerial attacks will usually, it will always slow your descent. I personally prefer doing square attacks because I think triangle kind of pushes you off a little. Although attack doesn't slow you down your descent that well. Watch what I'm doing. I have to really watch because I kind of got lucky in that sequence. I thought they would have given me help, but they didn't. Alright, so... Ooh, that is great timing, just as this platform arrives. I thought I made it! Jesus Christ, it scared me. Don't do that, Kratos! You're already scary enough, don't do that stuff. Pretty sure actually falling down there on the platforms will kill you as well. Jesus Christ, man. I've never seen anything like that. I was like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And I see he actually latched on somehow. I didn't even know he could latch onto that. You could probably actually save some time with the pole walking by jumping a bit. But I don't recommend that because I prefer being a bit safe. I have to admit, it is still funny to see how Kratos walks on this. You wouldn't think he would be so timid, but I guess even he realizes how dangerous this is. What's coming out of that? Whatever it is, we should probably roll out the welcoming wagon for it. Alright, let's see. Also, it seems that audio thing with Pandora's music constantly, Pandora's Temple music playing, went into the main menu, actually, when I was quitting to try and fix it. Looks like it's gone now after I totally reset the game and did some stuff, but... yeah, I don't know what happened. That kind of freaked me out, though. here we got our second boss of the game, Pandora's Guardian. First things first, it has some visibility frames. And you're going to want to not really do anything else but use your Blades of Chaos personally, so that you can get damage, so that you can get this cutscene. And then here on, just use your Rage of the Gods and go balls out with Poseidon's Rage. What the fuck's it doing? I don't know why it did that. You're just going to want to do this a few times, and then you should get brought down to the circle prompt here. All you really need for this fight is just your level 5 Blades of Chaos and your maxed out Poseidon's Rage. You need nothing else. You do need, of course, a full Rage of the Gods for coming into this fight, but you need that bad. And we're going to want it stunned because we need to first get rid of its armor. Otherwise, we couldn't really do much else about it. Now, in theory, we could actually mash R2 on that to get a second catapult hit. But there's a reason for that. You do want to do that at some point, but you don't want to do it now, honestly. You're going to want to get as much damage off as you can, so that you can get a second circle prompt and also get your full Rage of the Gods back. So you're going to need that for the phase where it's not armor. That totally didn't do anything, did it? Okay, it did something. That one triangle works. I think it's the safest option, but you could also do your Spirit of Hercules combo. Either one works. You do want to watch it for that, for when it tries to grab you. That's one of the main problems you'll have up here, because then it'll bring you down. Let's see, I think it should be almost dead. So I think one Poseidon's Rage should do it. Should do, and yes, that's all I need. Because after the rotation prompt, I'll also have full magic alongside my full Rage of the Gods. I mean, this is an okay boss fight. It's just for a combat-heavy game. You probably would hope it has more bosses. You know, it's the first game of the series, and from this point on, not only did they have more boss fights, but they added more fun bosses too. Trust me, the bosses in God of War 2 are pretty damn awesome. God of War 3 also has some great boss fights too. Other games, not so much. And now, mash R2 like your life depends on it. You're gonna need to do this as fast as you can. You're gonna have to kind of hope to get this off. You will take damage, but it's worth it. Because now we can actually do damage to the Minotaur itself. Basically, there's no real difference from this point on, except this is what happens when it grabs you. It doesn't actually hurt you that bad, in my opinion. I think we're just gonna want to get at least a good chunk off, and then we're gonna want to go full on into Rage of the Gods for Athena's blessing and all. I'll probably waste a bit. I think it still gives you magic though, at some point, so that's good. And, oh, I don't have enough for a last one. That's a shame. But I think we're just about done. I'm just gonna have to use it a few more times, and that's all. Should do, and even if that's not enough, I have my last one left. Perfect. And now, Sequin Haze. Not too shabby. Pretty much done here. Ooh! Thank you. You were aware of the adversary. I think if you actually are quick enough, and maybe if you do it just right, you can probably use, like if you don't mind going into a third phase without using the R2 tactic, so that you can get up a third list of hits. Like a second catapult after you get a first one, after a previous one. What you can do is you can actually use that when it's unarmed, and that takes up a huge chunk of its health. It's pretty awesome. You can go about this fight a few ways, and I like that. I mean, it's not the best boss fight, but you do have quite a bit of ways to go.